Playboy, run this shit, ho.
What up? Welcome to the
Fuck out of here.
welcome to the
Fuck out of here.
podcast show. And according to Blaine, I'm the guy that never lies. Sayso.
And it should be today, DJ True, what it is, what it do. Last episode of 2022.
And we about to end this off with a biggity bang. We got two and a half. We got two special guests.
Yeah, we got two special guests. That's it.
Carry the one. Hold on. Carry the one minus the. Okay.
Yeah, you got to divide and subtract, and you equal the two special guests, man. We got Brandi. Brandi is a therapist. She came on our podcast about a month and some change ago to discuss therapist issues, man, spiritual beads and Nomyo Haringe cures and
whatever. Hello, I'm back. I must have did good because they called me back.
Definitely.
They called me. They
called you. Hey.
Definitely.
They called you. And we got Miss Mara Nicole. This is Mara Nicole. Y'all know Mara Nicole. Unexpected. Y'all know Mara Nicole. My ex and my next. Y'all know Mara Nicole. She does her modeling thing. She models, man.
And her son said, Taco Bell sucks.
Taco Bell sucks.
My son is an advocate for Taco Bell haters. Okay, he is y'all voice.
Taco Bell sucks. Man, give it up for these two wonderful young ladies, man. Let's give them a round of drinks.
What?
We supposed to be drinking?
Nah.
I was gonna say I got a Gatorade. I mean, I could.
Nah.
I will have to go get my cup.
Oh shit! Everybody turn this into a tipsy Sunday.
We're about to turn into
After
Sipping Sundays. Sipping Sundays. There you go.
All right. So, man, this podcast is brought to you by My Ex Is My Next, dropping next year. Don't know when, but it's gonna be before March. Also sponsored by Smiley Crafting Things and Gorilla Land merch, and that's it. Because every other sponsor we had is no longer sponsoring the FOA.
it's over.
Look, your time has ran out.
And go watch Unexpected, over 1 million views. Yeah, did.
Give a round of applause for that.
That is still so kind of like surreal and in my mind. It's just kind of like, what?
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah, for real.
I want to thank everybody that commented, that supported the film, that donated, that did everything. And I want to also comment the people that didn't comment as much on Derek post as they did on mine.
And that's just to let you know people don't fuck with me. It is what it is. Cool.
I thought that was fucked up. I'm like, okay, I shared this man post and got more likes and comments, and this man posted it first.
Ain't no more soda in that, Blair.
Blaine.
She didn't call that nigga Blair.
She called him Blair.
But that's what he was acting like. It's gone.
Got a little bit left in there.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I'll go stream Unexpected, man. But you know, these topics we got DJ Truth. Bring that up.
Oh man, since I seen this post a week ago, I said I put it out there, let people, you know what I mean. So the post was marriage doesn't benefit men at all, and some dudes comment they didn't want to come tell the truth, but some of them comment some, you know. So
I shared the post, but I was trying to share what Derek had post, and then my wife got mad at me like, "Oh, that's how you feel."
Lord, yeah, because it made
I was
it.
gonna say, did you get in trouble? You married?
But like I had to redeem myself. I said, "Bro, don't get mad at me." I said, "Look what I shared." Because you know when you share it from Derek, it didn't show your post; it just showed.
Yeah, because I wrote on the minds.
Yeah, and I shared it. And she got mad. I was like, "Bro, you tripping?" I said, "Look, I just shared this shit." I said,
"Damn, cuz
get in trouble. Don't get in trouble."
Right. Top of that shit, man. Don't come at me with that. I just shared something. But if y'all don't know, man, everybody on this podcast has been married or are currently married. So the thing with that is, this is the perfect cast for this episode because they can also state how they feel about marriage and being with somebody, or just the statement that young man had made, which I don't agree with, but I don't disagree with as well. Disclaimer.
Blink twice if you agree. Blink twice if you
agree.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, because you know, there's beneficial sides for being married. You know, there's the woman take care of your children. They're there when you need them the most at certain times. And they also have that comfort issue of stability and just taking care of the home in general, holding down your kids. Also,
just having your back, man. That's you look at it. Just that's your partner. Something happened, your partner
supposed to be there.
Go to your partner. That's that. You know that there it is. That simple like that. My partner got my back. I got my partner back.
Right, but I guess in certain situations that men don't feel as appreciated when it comes to the lack of respect they get out their marriage. So, as women, how y'all feel? Oh, Blaine voice, as y'all women, how y'all feel about that statement?
Anyone could go first.
I gotta see who go first. We want to talk about each other.
Okay, so that statement is a little broad for me, only because to each his own, and everybody is their own person. So for that particular gentleman, he may be in a relationship with one of them wives that don't want to contribute, don't want to cook, don't want to clean, don't want to take care of the children, and everything is all on him. So it just really depends on who you're talking to and what their situation is in order for that statement to be true. Like you said, it can be true and it can be completely false. It just depends on who you're dealing with. For me and the type of woman that I am, and I can only speak for me, that statement is false. But that's me, and that's the type of woman that I am, and that I know what I can bring to the table. You get what I'm saying?
Right. I follow you.
Are you married?
I am not anymore.
Oh, okay.
See, we got divorced people on here too.
Yeah, we got divorced people on here too. So you know,
I wouldn't call it a divorce. Let's just say it was an old. Let's say that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just say I got out.
It went long.
It was fast, so it was like
Nah.
So, all right, Brandi, go ahead and state your opinion on it.
So I have a couple stances on it. I think that when I initially read it, I laughed. I laughed because I feel like marriage only benefits men. I think that when marriage first came about, it benefited women because we weren't allowed to own property and like we were uneducated and things like that. So I feel like marriage was like, oh, okay, this gives a woman a chance to like have something, right? She's married, she can own property, land, have wealth and all that stuff. But then I also feel like men feel like now that it doesn't benefit them because the woman can take half if the marriage doesn't work out. So I know a lot of men are apprehensive about getting married because they feel like, you know, I'm stuck, or if I get out, then she gets half. So I think when I read it, I was thinking that a man who felt like that wrote that. But again, back to my other standpoint, I feel like women, like Blake said, we cook, we clean, we take care of the children. We do most of the stuff. So it's like, how does it not benefit men? It very much so benefits men because you got a partner for life, right? You got a ride or die. You got somebody who's going to take care of the home, who's going to raise your children. So again, I laugh because I'm like, how does it not benefit men? It very much so does. And it should benefit both, right? Like if we're talking about how we want it to, it should benefit both because what the woman doesn't provide, the man provides. And that's the purpose of having a partner. Right. But when I think of like modern day marriage right now, it's like, it seems that the man benefits because he gets everything. If we're not talking about financial, like he gets a partner, he gets somebody who's going to stand by his side. He's going to make sure his children are going to be taken care of. He's going to have a home. He's going to have food. He's going to have, you know, the vision. Women usually are we see, and we're the
bring things to light.
Yeah. So it's like, that was a joke because how does it not benefit men? Now, if it's ending, then yeah, men be like, oh, child support and alimony and things like that. But in a marriage, how does it not benefit the man?
I mean, some men can get alimony too. So it really just depends on the situation.
True.
I feel like that statement is situational, for real.
It's very subjective, but it was hilarious to me. Like, oh, okay.
See, I didn't like me and my standpoint of it. Like, I didn't really care about the subject when I first saw it. I was like, I already know who kind of can of worms that's gonna open, so I ain't even gonna say shit about it. So it's like it is what it is. Like it could be one side here, it could be another side there. It could start competition. So I'm like, hey man, I could, like Mara said, it's like it's situational. Like if you're in that situation, you will say that shit. Or he might be going through, so he might be getting a divorce and thinking, because we all know. And from my perspective, when we doing podcasts, my homeboy always told me, he's like, marriage is a business. He's like, why you need to sign a contract to even with somebody that you love? It should be, sacred and non-ceremonial for like somebody to tell you, hey, you are
sign here.
Yeah, legally to this person. And I don't agree with that.
Somebody used to talk to you used to say that all the time. The next time she get married, she's not even going through. She's gonna do it on the beach. Just get married. She's not gonna sign nothing. You're just gonna get married.
Right, like Will Smith and Jada wanted to do, but Will Mama or whatever wanted to get married, like
because it's mainly all of that is for the people.
Right. It's for
the people. And I also feel like, why do you have to go through the government? Why do the government have to know who you tied to? Like, why?
For the IRS, they want that money.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Because I was reading something on Instagram the other day and it said the only license that you can get without taking a class or anything is marriage, right? Like, if I'm going to get a driver's license, I got to take a test. If I'm going to get my social work license, I got to go to school and take a test. If I'm getting my real estate license, I have to pass the real estate exam. Why is there no...
You got to get your hair license.
Yeah. But for marriage, all I got to do is pay, $90-something and go to the courthouse and they'll give me a license. I ain't study no book. I ain't took no exam, but I didn't met this person and we gonna go to the court. They don't know that we've known each other longer than a day and they gonna say, pay me and I'll give y'all a license. Why don't we have to pass a test or an exam or some type of prerequisite in order to say I'm qualified to be married?
To be in a marriage.
Go to a Catholic church. They gonna tell you gotta go to counseling.
Yeah, like if you're Catholic, I guess we gotta go through a whole fucking We gotta go through a whole class.
But that's a choice. That's a choice.
Exactly.
Y'all don't have to
it's not required. It's not
that's not required. You gotta do this to get married.
Right, you're right.
There's no licensing board.
Right.
There's no licensing board. Like for me to be a therapist, I have to renew my license every 2 years, and I have to take classes to say I'm still qualified to be a licensed social worker. Once you're married, that's it.
Right there.
You don't have to go to premarital counseling every 5 years. You don't have to renew your marriage.
We're doing here. Every year you got to renew my cosmetology. Like not every year, every other year you got to pay a fee to renew your cosmetology license. And you also have to show that you've been doing continual education to show that you are still certified to be playing in these people's heads.
Get a damn kid off you.
What are your thoughts about marriage, sir?
Okay. Okay.
Yesterday, the girl changed me. I'm really agree with her. So yeah, man.
I don't know. I feel like they don't care. When I say they, like the government, they don't care. If two people want to come pay for this marriage license, they ain't gonna ask.
Give me that money.
Give me that money.
So we can tax them at the end of the year.
Oh, y'all want to get a normal or y'all want to get a divorce? Give me that money.
Exactly. Yeah. So they don't
you want to
care.
change your name? Give me that money.
You gotta pay to get a divorce.
You
gotta go through court and get a license to get a divorce and all that, though, but not to get married.
Not to get married and not to stay married, right? Like I feel like you should have to renew your marriage license. Dude, are we still happy? Is it things to work on? Like
they leave that up to you. They leave that up to you.
You should have to renew that shit.
Yeah.
Like
you gotta go to a divorce class.
Shit changes. That's and even before you get a divorce, I feel like they should make you take a class to try to work it out before you go through. Like they just be like, okay, my court hearing was 5 minutes and 32 seconds. That's how long my divorce thing took. And I was like, oh, they don't care? Like they were just like, okay, have a nice day. Verify this is you, verify this is y'all agreeing to do this. Oh, okay. And we wish you the best. And I was like, oh.
No, like real shit, because just like I said, when I went through my divorce, that's how it was. Like you're supposed to be separated for 6 months. I lied.
Yep,
they didn't even change the dates. I lied.
We was at the same house. We was at the same house on the court date. Like they just didn't know because we was on. It was during the pandemic. But we was on this. We was in the same house on different phones, and we did our court hearing. It was on Zoom. And of course, they don't know where you're at, but they were like, "Is this you? Is this you? Did you file a petition? Did you sign it? Okay, are you guys in agreement? Okay, we wish you guys the best." And I was just like, "Oh my God, like they didn't ask anything. Like it's like your marriage can be dissolved in 5 minutes and pay $200 something. Like I was like, well, it was like $375 because we have kids, but I was just like, oh my God, just $375 and your marriage is gone like that, like."
Done.
Then how safer is it if it just counts $375 to be over? Like, I think that was the most traumatizing part for me. Like, oh my God, they didn't ask anything. Like, they didn't even care.
Yeah, like that. We got our money. We don't give a shit.
Yeah. So it was just like,
girl, the annulment is even quicker. An annulment is like, yeah, like, so from what I can remember, he went, I was just like, you're gonna have to pay for it and you're gonna have to get the paper since you wasted my time. He was like, all right. So I don't know how much he paid, but he came back, I signed the papers, and then next thing I know, he came back and he gave me my official, like, yeah, everything is annulled, everything went back to normal. We ain't gotta split nothing, we ain't gotta do nothing. It's erased from the books as if it never happened. Cool. Have a good one.
That shit is crazy. Like that shit is mind blowing. And I just feel like
I had porn on
they sell marriage as this big thing, right? Like society makes it a big thing, but they only make it a big thing for the woman. Like when we're growing up, we're taught like you want to be married. You better stop doing that if you want a husband, or you better learn how to do this. You know, they make it as if getting a husband is just this huge box to check. Like you better learn how to cook and you better look like this. And that's why you ain't got no man, as if having a man is just this badge of
that validates you.
Yeah, like if you don't have one, you're less than. And so of course women go their whole lives looking to be married, right? We learn to not date a lot of people, not have said do this because you want to be, you know, picked by a man. You don't want to be ran through and you don't want to be this and you want to be that. Meanwhile, when boys are growing up, they're taught to have as many women as possible.
Have 17 girlfriends.
So we teaching two different we're teaching two different things to people that's supposed to be together. So the boy that was raised to have multiple girlfriends, but the girl who was raised to only fuck one dude and know how to cook and clean, that's what we telling to make together, and we wonder why marriages don't last. We're taught two different things. Yeah. She's given a kitchen and a stove. She given a kitchen and a stove for Christmas. Like she gets a dollhouse and Barbie dolls with Pampers and a kitchen set. He's giving trucks and art and action figures. And so we're asking him to grow up, be a man, grow up.
Basketballs or footballs or like.
So then when she have a baby and he like, I can't hold that thing. I don't know how to do that. Then she mad. Well, all he knew how to do was talk to football and play with action figures. So man, I just think that it's just different. Like we're groomed from a young age to be a mother. I knew how to change a diaper because I had a baby doll that peed, right? You had the baby doll that peed, you had the bottle, you had the kitchen set, you knew how to iron, even though it wasn't turned on. You knew to iron, you knew to wash
easy bake oven, all that.
Yeah, easy bake oven. So we're taught as girls to grow. We're taught to be a wife right off the bat.
We're taught to maintain a household right off the bat. And I don't know.
We gotta do chores.
When I was in school, I had food and nutrition. I had home economics. They teach you how to write checks. They teach you how to cook, how to clean, parenthood and child development.
Yeah.
In school, like they're teaching that. So, I mean, it wasn't until, you get in high school, that's when the boys are in those particular classes or whatever. But by the end of the day, like you said, we're raised from very early. Oh, you a girl. Oh, you should be doing this by now. You should be sweeping by now. You should be doing and then my brother's outside playing. What we doing?
We raise our daughters, but we just nurture and coddle our sons. Like we'll tell our son he can stay in our house till he's 30, till he get himself together, but the daughter gotta leave at 18. Why we gotta leave? But you already know we know how to maintain a household because we've been doing this since we was 12.
What's that excuse that they tell us? That's the excuse is, girls mature faster than guys. So
we don't. We don't mature faster. Y'all raise us to be more mature. We don't have a choice.
We're forced.
Yeah. And then if you think about it in high school, all the people I know that got pregnant in high school, they dropped gym and they had to take that class for like teen parents, but they got pregnant by a boy in that high school. So why the fuck he ain't got to take that class too?
Why he ain't in that class with her?
Right, he's the athlete, right?
Yeah, he smashed somebody else.
He smashed somebody else, and he's out on the football field. Meanwhile, she got to take the
that breadwinner. That breadwinner. That's why.
No, he's not.
Let me get on this field and let me keep playing so I can go to college and I'm gonna get in the NFL.
And guess what? He goes to college, smoke weed, fuck hoes, and don't make it to the NFL, and she still got that baby.
Damn.
That's a high possibility. But what about that other possibility that he
What
does?
about that 1%? Oh, okay.
I was about to say 5. I was gonna say 5. You
Okay,
said
what about that 5%?
Dude, I would give it like 58%. He might be.
Okay, let's talk about the 5%. So we get the 5%, right? He make it to the NFL. Guess what? He on the road. She home raising that baby. So will she get a check every month? Oh, okay.
That don't make it right. You're right. It don't make it right.
So yeah, that ain't no better. That ain't no
better. It's no better. It's just
yeah.
This is
So again, and then now we talk about marriage, right? He off in the NFL. She at home, a single mother baby. Now she meets another man. Oh, you had a baby in high school. You know what I mean? Then and now she's out of the running for.
Now she's looked down on because she got
a
baby out of wedlock or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think like this generation. Well, our generation, us, like y'all was taught that, but these new girls. There are just whatever y'all are saying opposite. They are doing opposite. They're living their life. They're smashing who they want to smash.
They
living like dudes.
Because we don't care about being married no more. Like that's not. We're not sold. We're not sold. It doesn't. Like we're taught like, oh, you want the white dress and da 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 da. Yeah, they tell us all that because guess what? The day after the wedding day, she's a motherfucking maid. She's a maid. So yeah, you gonna give me that bridal shower and that gown. Yeah, you gonna sell it to me as if I'm this fairy tale. The day after that motherfucker wed, and you back cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids.
You back to cooking. You back to cleaning.
So that's why I'm like,
God forbid she has a career. God forbid she has a career. She has a career, then it's over with. You gotta go work your 9 to 5. Come home. You still gotta cook. You still gotta clean. You gotta pick up the kids. Now the kids gotta go to practice, and you still gotta figure out dinner. If you don't figure out dinner, you gotta pick dinner up. Meanwhile, what do? You wake up, brush your teeth, wash your ass, you go to work. You work 9 to 5. Oh, you've had an exhausting day. Let me go catch a beer with the guys. Okay, now it's time to come home and please don't get attitude because ain't no food ready.
We're totally.
About to say something else.
Totally. But I want to say if the roles reverse, like if the woman is the financial person and the man takes on I still work, but I'll go ahead and I'll do all that. Well,
somebody do all that.
Would you look? 1%. Would y'all look different?
Well, they got a 2% in here. I know for a fact do that.
What we look at what different?
Like no, what he's saying is like you see everything y'all saying. They got some guys in here that do that all day, like every day since they and like they sometimes they don't fully appreciate it. They go to each other. They talk on the phone about all this. Like, man, I never do it. Man, I can't think. It's like I gotta do everything. But they in a marriage. They doing. It's not 50-50 what they saying. It's like 80-20.
Marriage is never 50-50 though.
It's never gonna be 50-50.
It's never gonna be that. I feel like my whole.
But there should be different times where maybe I'm in 70 I feel like
sometimes they feel like, oh well, shit, he do it, so I'm gonna just continue to let him do it. Like they try not to help at all.
Well, no, there needs to be a conversation around that. You can't just bitch to your friends and not talk to your partner about it. Talking to your friends saying I'm tired of this is not going to help if your partner doesn't know you're tired.
Yeah, okay, you tell your partner that, and your partner be like, well, I think you should leave.
Oh, then leave.
Bye.
Shit.
Problem.
I'm not letting nobody tell me more than once that they don't want me.
That's what I'm saying. Like I agree with y'all because like if something not right, I'm gonna speak on it. We will have a conversation. Like I think I just hit that growth of maturity when I'm gonna have to speak instead of just fuss about it and complain about it. Where we need to sit down and talk until we come to an agreement instead of just being immature and be like, man, I fucking do the fucking thing.
Yeah,
I stopped doing it.
You can't talk at somebody. Now, if you're talking to somebody and expressing yourself, because things are received. Like me, come tell me, you can tell me whatever. I don't care. It could be fucked up, but if you're talking to me and not at me,
right.
You'll come a long way.
It's about your delivery. It's about your delivery.
All how you say it.
And don't wait till you're at your wit's end because it's gonna sound foul and funky. Say it as soon as it starts getting on your nerves. Because if you let that shit build up, you're gonna be like, hey, I'm tired of this shit. Where
all the curse words
coming to me. Like I'm like, wait a minute, I just got here. Like, hold on. Like, I didn't know.
We wait till shit build up and then want to speak. You got to say it as soon as it start irritating you. Like, hey, this cool for now, but like, how long am I gonna be doing all the household stuff? Because
I don't even start with it. It's cool for that. It's not. If I gotta say something about it, it's not cool. Hey, look, let me tell you something. Hey, boo.
Yeah, real shit. Real shit to be like, listen.
You did this and I didn't like it.
Right.
Fix it.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
What you want for dinner? Like, it's that simple. Now, if I have to continue to tell you, hey, look, you doing that shit I don't like again.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, now I'm coming at your neck because you're not a child. I done repeated myself way more than I like to. What's up?
Exactly.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just life stuff. Like, and I think this is the benefit of having a partner, because when I can only give 30%, hopefully my partner can. Like, I remember when I was in grad school, like I worked and then got off work and went to school. So I needed my partner to be 70. He had to get off work and go get the kids and take them home and feed them, because I wasn't getting home till 8. But we knew that was a temporary thing, right? You're not in school forever. So I told him, like, hey, I want to go to this grad school program. It's a 3-year program. Can you have my back 2 nights a week while I go to school? He said, yeah. Now, did he get tired of that shit? Yeah, but he knew this is only for a minute. And then at that point,
this is only for a moment.
Yeah. And so once I was done, I'm like, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not had a partner like you. I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not had you pulling your 70% when I only had 30, because by the time I got home, I'm beat. The kids are tired in bed, you know. So I made sure on the weekends that I pulled my weight. I made sure on the nights that I didn't have school that I did cook and made him lunch the next day. Like, it's about balance, and it's about having conversations. Sometimes it was like, look, can you skip school tonight? Because I'm beat. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna go to class and I'm gonna do my shit online. You have to figure it out. But it's about,
but see, that's that compromise though. That's that compromise.
You have to do that. There was a time that he went to school. I told him, you need to get a career. He was like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to work and go to school. So again, when I was done with grad school, I let him not work and I paid all the bills. And people like, oh, I ain't doing 50-50. I paid all the bills so he could get a CDL. It was a 2-month program. For 2 months, I could pay bills because I went to grad school, right? And so I told him, don't work. Go to school so you can be done in 2 months instead of 5. Knock it out. And he did. And so when he got a CDL, guess what he said? You can work part-time now. You don't have to work full-time. Stay home with the kids. So it's about partnership.
Give and take. And I love that.
There are sometimes when I had to give 70 and I'm like, look, he ain't paying no bills. Like, we can't do shit on the weekend. But I knew it was temporary because once he got a CDL, he getting that bread. So I had to stay down for the come up, just like he stayed down when I was in grad school and I wasn't doing my wifely duties. You know what I mean? So again, it's about compromise and conversation. Because you do get tired. You get irritable. You don't like them every day. You don't want to do that stuff. And sometimes it's not about like, I don't like it. Can you fix it? Sometimes ain't nothing I can fix because I ain't about to quit going to school. So what else can I do? What's the other option? You know, so it's not always going to be a kumbaya. Sometimes it's like, we just going to agree to disagree, but you still in it? Okay, I'm still in it. All right, cool. And we just going to ride this out until, again, I can give my 50 again or my 60 and you giving 40. But I think this day and age, we think that our next option is a click or a DM away. And so we don't fight for shit or have conversations because we be like, have a conversation for what? When so-and-so in my DM liking all my pictures. I can just go there.
All and that shit ain't cracked up to be. It ain't cracked up to be, people. Trust me.
It's not.
Just like you said, the green grass on the end.
It ain't green on the other side. Shit. You want to put up with somebody else's bullshit or the bullshit you used
to. Exactly.
It depends on what that bullshit is.
Facts, that too. But shit, if you went
I seen it. I seen that happen.
Yeah, we be leaving our 80. We be leaving our 80 for our 20, and then we get that 20 and be like, where's the 80? I would be like so, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Sometimes that shit you get on the other side, that shit you wouldn't get in that home, but that shit on the other side that you wouldn't get in that home, they got way more problems than what the fuck you thought you had at home. And you dealing with that bullshit. So it's not like saying you can't find better or do better, but at the same time, some people just not equipped to stand other people's bullshit again. Like,
and it depends again what that bullshit is. Like, everybody got something, right? So you gotta have no non-negotiables.
It's all about what you can deal with. It's all about you can deal with. Like, I can deal with certain people bullshit, and certain people bullshit I can't deal with. So therefore, I'm a weigh my options, but at the same time, certain shit is toxic, and certain shit is you probably can fix. If the shit is fixable, yeah, cool. But if it's not fixable, then you should leave. But if it's fixable,
I think we all have seen somebody be in a toxic relationship and learn how to fix it and be successful in a relationship. Because we see certain people that's, you know, they be like, damn, they toxic and fuck, but sooner or later, like they go through what they went through,
they fix it,
and they happen. They fix it, now they happy. So it's like
it's
it's all a learning process.
I think that a toxic situation could turn out okay if both people are willing to be
accountable. Both willing to do the work to fix it.
Willing to do the work, but if
they ain't willing to do the work and fix it,
right, it has to be both people. Like, look, this is fucked up. This is not working. I'm willing to grow and change. I'm willing to be accountable for the part I play. Because I think too, when situations end, we just point at the other person, right? They didn't do this.
It's got to be accountability and forgiveness.
Yeah, we have to look inside, and because I know I've been looking lately at like, damn, I kind of was doing shit too. Like, I mean, the marriage ended because of him. But I be looking lately like, yeah, I got some ways about myself too. You know what I mean? So when I went to therapy
afterwards,
no, real shit. I wouldn't have saw it had I stayed. I had to leave my situation in order to look at myself. If I would have stayed in my situation, I would have kept looking at him. Being by myself, ain't nobody else to look at. So I had to really sit on somebody's couch and be like, yeah,
I kind of can't stand myself. I kind of got these fucked up ways. I'm kind of
I do. Like, I really had to be like, oh, Brandi, like, you was doing shit that wasn't nice. Like, you weren't a nice person. And I realized that I didn't see any healthy relationships growing up. So I thought shit was going to be like Family Matters and Cosby. Like, that was my only view of healthy marriage. I didn't have it in my house. So when I went into my relationship, I'm thinking like, he going to act like Mr. Huxtable. Like, why you ain't acting like he's Huxtable? Like, you know what I mean? So, and then he didn't have it either. So once we talked after, he was like, yeah, my parents don't have the type of marriage that I would want. So it's like, yeah, two people married who didn't have a healthy view of marriage. It's no wonder our marriage didn't work. We didn't have the tools. So
you look at that different because you like, if my parents went through all that bullshit, I just know this is what I don't want in my marriage. So
we don't know what we want. We just know what we don't want. Like for me, it was just like, I don't want a nigga that's gonna cheat. That was my only standard. Like, he just gotta be faithful. Well, it's more to relationships than fidelity, right? Like, you got to talk about finances. You got to talk about communication styles. You got to talk about your expectations and roles. So it was a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't talk about because we didn't know that was important. Again, because we both didn't see it. So now we be having these conversations and I'd be like, yeah, there was no way our marriage is going to work. We both had no clue, like no clue. And so being apart has been phenomenal because now I can look at myself and be by myself. I can look at myself without worrying about hurting somebody else because I'm alone, right? So I can deal with my shit. And so it's like, yeah, the next time that I'm married, I'm going to be a totally different person because I know things now that I didn't know the first time around. It was practice, essentially. Like, I would be a much better person because I am a much better person. I know more. I communicate. I have boundaries. Like, so it's like, yeah. And I think too, I didn't have the respect for men that I should have going into a marriage because my dad wasn't in my house. And so I've seen a lot of like strong Black women, right? And it's like, that's masculine energy. You can't go into a marriage in your masculine because then it's just two men dating, right? Like, I wasn't soft and flowy and nurturing. How was it going to work? I was against him instead of with him. So again, it's just a lot of stuff that I learned that I'm like, yeah, I wasn't doing marriage right, but I can't blame myself. I didn't know any better. And he didn't either. So it's just like, again, some marriages do be toxic because we're doing what we saw or we didn't see anything. So we're figuring it out. We're not talking. We didn't look at our childhood trauma. Like, that is a huge factor that I talk about to every client. Your childhood trauma directly affects how you show up in relationships. And this is friendships too. You got to look at your attachment style, your communication style. Are you an avoidant? Do you avoid stuff and you don't want anybody to get close to you? Are you an anxious person and you cling and you're needy and you need validation and reassurance? Like, if you don't know these things, you're just going to be in a relationship. Doesn't mean it's going to be healthy or that it's going to work. So it's a lot of uncomfortable conversations and stuff that need to be had if you want stuff to last. But we'll just go to the next person that's in our DMs and repeat the same cycle because if you don't heal it, you're gonna repeat it with the same people. Most people that are in, like, I keep getting toxic relationship. Yeah, because you're playing the same childhood trauma that you had. It's just a different body. So again, marriage benefits nobody if nobody's doing the work or communicating. We can say men or women, but it don't benefit anybody, and it damages the children when we don't heal ourselves and get in these situations that are toxic. And then now we have kids who are now seeing this, who are going to repeat the same cycle. So we gotta heal ourselves, y'all, or we just gonna keep
the same thing going on and on and on.
Yeah, that's why Black love is so hard, because we have post-traumatic slave syndrome. We have trauma, we have abandonment, we have abuse in our lineage and bloodline. If we don't heal that, we're just reliving it and passing it down to our children, who are also going to pass it down to their children. So we got to do something different. Marriage ain't working. 53% of marriages end. That's a problem. And we have to figure out why. And once we know why, do something about it. And not just be like, oh, that's why. Okay, well, now what are you willing to do about it? Are you willing to be accountable for the part that you played? Yeah, are you willing to say, damn, I did some fucked up shit too, and I don't want to do that anymore?
Right. Some people wait for years later to say that shit after it's all said and done. And it's like, oh, you know what? I did fucked up. And it's like, it's too late.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
No, if they divorced already, it's too late.
Yeah. Well, you know, some people come back
married.
Some people come back
together.
People
divorce and get back together.
Nah.
That's that pride and that ego.
I mean, that's an issue though for me in my mind. So if you're gonna divorce, go figure it out and work on yourself, and then figure out that that was your person. You just didn't. Neither one of you did the work or whatever, and now you're coming back to get remarried. It's just kind of like, why not do the work? Or why not stay together and do the work, and then after you do the work, if it still doesn't work, then divorce. Like, why jump?
Because sometimes you don't know in the relationship. If you think about codependency, right? Codependent people cannot be alone because their worth and value comes from other people needing them or from fixing others. So for me, I was a codependent person. If I would have stayed in my marriage, I never would have looked at myself. So it was never going to work if I stayed in there, because I would have never took my ass to therapy.
See, but that's the thing though. Like, when you leave a relationship, and I've noticed that from a lot of single people that I know, male or female, and just with everybody, like, as soon as they break up or as soon as they leave, somebody be like, oh, I ain't worried about it. New year, new me, or new, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's automatic. I'm not gonna say
that's
everybody. Majority of the people I know, they all just be like, oh no, now I'm gonna work on myself because I'm out of a relationship. And it's kind of like, why didn't you work on, if that relationship really meant what you thought it meant to you over those X amount of years, why didn't you work on yourself during the course of that relationship?
Well, sometimes you can't, because again, if we're codependent, we're so enmeshed, it's a toxic thing that I'm not going to be able to work on myself because I'm so focused on my partner. So if I can't because I'm not going to look. The things that I only realized because I was by myself. If I'm cooking and cleaning and with my partner and catering to him all day, every day, I'm not thinking about my childhood wounds. Who has time for that? I'm running a household. I'm keeping it moving. And so again, in society, some people keep it moving. I'm grinding. I'm hustling. I'm working. They keep doing that so that they don't have to deal with themselves. And that's what I was doing. The minute I realized that I'm in a room by myself and my kids are gone for the weekend, it's nothing to do but sit and look at myself and be like, fuck. Now I got to deal with all this shit that I've been running from. So I'm not saying that I couldn't do the work in the relationship. I couldn't do the work in a toxic environment. You can't heal in the same place you got sick. My relationship was making me physically sick, having anxiety, stomach pain, headaches. I had to leave in order to get well. You're not going to get well in the same place that you're sick. So for me, I couldn't do the work in the relationship because my whole focus was the relationship. Him and the kids were my everything. There was no time for me, which is why I was sick. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was so busy cooking and cleaning and making sure everybody else was okay and abandoning myself, which was because of my childhood trauma.
But that's understandable. But what I'm saying is, and granted, my situation is a little different, but what I'm saying is, when you're going through a divorce, there's a separation period. And
for some,
you're right. For some, we which we established earlier, right? But I'm just saying, during that separation period, before you actually go through with it, that is your time to kind of step back, remove yourself from the situation completely, as if you were already divorced, right? And then start working on yourself. Like, that's what I was thinking as far as using.
And I did. Again, in my situation, we separated. I start going to therapy immediately, as soon as he moved out. But he start fucking hoes. So again, why would I stay in that situation and work it out when he wasn't doing the same? So I left, we separated. He had a different agenda. Mine was, I'm going to separate. I need to work on myself. I need to be by myself. I got a lot of stuff going on. This is toxic. His thing was, shit, I'm out here. Like you said, have people be like, I'm out here. Fuck this. Da-da-da-da. We had different stances. So yeah, at that point, I'm like, okay, well then your stance is not the same as mine. So let me go ahead and divorce. Now he's working on himself, but I'm gone. You know what I mean? So sometimes it takes for that. And like he said, losing you made me want to start working on myself. I had to look at myself and say, damn, I've lost everything. So now me and him can have these candid conversations because we've both been apart and both realized that we had some deep childhood shit that we had to work out that was never going to be solved if we would have stayed together because we would work. So I just think it's different per situation. Now, some people be like, I'm out here, it wasn't me, on to the next, new year, new me. No, look at yourself. Quit. We always want to run to the next best thing, but sometimes the next best thing is fixing your heart, fixing your soul, like fixing your trauma. Then you can be a better person and show up in a relationship with that person or the new person. It don't matter.
I agree, because when you do that, when you do what you just said, that's toxic.
It is, and it's ego. It's ego driven, right? Because it wasn't me, it was him. It wasn't me, that was him. Your loss, sorry for your loss. You took an L. Yeah, okay, but you ain't perfect either. You know what I mean? We're so egotistical that we think that we're just about. Like for me, I was justified in leaving because of the shit he did. Right? So everybody looked at me like, oh my God, he did you so that I feel so sorry for you. But like I said, now it's been 2 years later. Now I'm like, wait. I wasn't that nice. Like, I wasn't that respectful. I didn't show him appreciation. I didn't talk to him kind. I didn't treat him like a king. You know what I mean? Like, I'm realizing that I wasn't perfect either. It does not justify the shit that he did. Not saying that. But I can't keep saying, oh, I'm this victim. Woe is me. He did me so dirty.
Exactly.
I had to ask myself, how the fuck did I end up with somebody like him? Why was I attracted to that? Oh, because he was like my daddy. Right? So again, I have to look at myself. Why did I like him? Why was I attracted to him in the first place? Why did I stay with somebody who was like that? Because I was trying to relive out my own childhood wounds. So we always look at the person and ask, well, they did this. Why would they do me like that? They did you like that because they was hurt, right? But also, why was I attracted to it?
But like what you're saying, I agree with everything you're saying, because like to get out of something, that's how you work on yourself. Because if I don't never did my separation, I would have never figured out all the bad, how evil I was, how I was just taking my life for advantage. If I would have never got out of that situation, I'd probably be the same evil.
Why change, right? Why change if you're still in it? You don't think
I was just like, I didn't give a fuck. It was just about me, football, and hanging with my brothers whenever he came or whenever I could. I would fuss for days. Like, you can't stop me from hanging with my brother. But I never, in a marriage, you do got to put your wife first sometimes. And it took me to realize for her to leave and for me to be alone again, to realize like, damn, yeah, I am fucked up. I do got fucked up ways. I did put before my kids, my wife, everybody. It was me first. I was like, fuck y'all. It was me. It was just me. I didn't care about none of them. And it took for us to separate, for me to see like, damn, Bland, you are fucked up. You do have a ways. You only think about yourself sometimes. So if it wasn't for that separation period, I'd still be a fucked up me. I ain't gonna lie. I still be.
But see, on the flip side of that,
hold on, man. Let me go. My turn.
Hold on. I got a question.
Go ahead.
I just got a question for Brandon, because you said you worked on yourself and you said your ex-husband worked on yourself and y'all could have conversations. Can y'all see yourself getting back together since y'all both in a better space?
Hold on, Derek. Bland just answered that question. They talk. So I understand what they're saying, but like. No, let me finish. Because I Blaine knows, so it's cool. But like, you know what I'm saying? They had to separate in order to find themselves. Yeah, but sometimes you can fix yourself when you with somebody.
Hopefully you can. Like, I would love to have been able to do that.
No, I'm serious, because I'm living testament to that. You can fix yourself when you dealing with bullshit. Because like, if y'all can come together and talk, just like you do when you're alone, and talk about how fucked up each person is while y'all together, and admit that each person
that would be amazing.
That would be good, but the person got to be willing to receive it.
And it got to be both, right?
That's what I'm saying. I've been through it.
And it's hard to hear your person tell you hard stuff about you.
No, once that's what I'm saying. Only the strong survive, because once you can go through that obstacle, when somebody can actually say fucked up shit to each other and just tell them all the fucked up shit each person done, like I fucked up with this and I fucked up with that, because everybody be like, oh, they try to play victim most of the time. But when you can admit you fucked up and you done some fucked up shit, whether it's from childhood trauma or whether just for you being selfish and saying I'm gonna do the fuck I want because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like it has to it's like a connection when you be like, okay, boom, you did this, where do we go from here?
Right.
Are we gonna change or are we gonna leave?
Now that's goals right there. The goal is to be able to heal yourself with your partner, right? Like that's the ultimate. We grow together.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because what you were saying was like I had to find myself being away from him because you was getting sick.
Right.
So I actually had to go through that with my partner. We actually went through it together instead of separate.
That's beautiful.
We worked on that. That's what I'm saying. Because like it don't. Nobody's wrong in this situation. Everybody got their own way of dealing with stuff. But like I dealt with it with my partner.
And that's beautiful.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think that's goals, right? Everybody wants to do that. Like for me, again, when we separate, that was my thing. Like, well, we need to live in separate houses. Let's do this. But again, like I said, he went a different way. He went and found somebody else. And created all this other mess. And it's like now he like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. I should have slowed down, took my time, worked on myself, because this ain't it either. Like he said, I left my 80 for my 20 and now I'm in deep shit. So again, it took for him to go down that route to see. And again, now I'm just gone. But it's the goal will be to do that. That would have been ideal to do that together. I think those are the best relationships, and those are the ones that stand the test of time, because you didn't see me in my deep shit and I didn't see you in yours, and we've blossomed together. But it takes a lot of you putting your pride and ego to the side.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have to have uncomfortable conversations. You have to swallow your pride, and you have to actually look each other in the face and say, where do we go from here?
And both of y'all gotta be on that.
Both of y'all gotta be mentally prepared for that shit. Y'all gotta be like, damn, we both fucked up. Like, so where do we go from here?
Right.
That's would you I'm sorry, Mara, you about to say something? Because I know I cut you off.
No, you good. I was gonna say on the flip side of it, with my situation, it was more so I was too nice. I was too this, I was too that. So whenever I left the situation, I like how you guys are saying, like you had to fix yourself for the better. I felt like I had to fix myself to be more mean, to be more cutthroat, to be more. But that's just what my situation presented for me at the time. You get what I'm saying? So again, a lot of these things, there are facts and there are truths to it. But again, everything is situational, just depending on what that situation is.
I think I was like you. I was like I said, I was like didn't respect him and things like that. But I was too nice that I let shit slide that I shouldn't have let slide, because again, we're talking women to be nice and be that. But that was me being codependent. That was me putting somebody else's feelings and thoughts before my own and abandoning myself to make somebody else happy. That's why I said I could not stay, because I wouldn't have been able to break the trauma bond. We also have to realize that sometimes people that are in relationships, when they can't leave that person on and get rid of them, there's a trauma bond there. And that's just as bad as a coke addiction. Right? So
this is my thing. This is my thing. My situation was, I am a product of a single father. Like my dad was the one that raised me. It was me and him or whatever. I saw the player side on him. And then I also saw him get with a girl. He changed and they ended up being married for a year, like forever, you might as well say, you know what I'm saying? So with my situation, it was more so I had what could I say? I was always taught to be strong, independent, work, all this and that. But at the time of my marriage, I was a college dropout with a newborn baby and I was a newlywed. And so I didn't know how to be a housewife, because I was always taught to be like that go-getter, that help your husband, don't be and then I also saw the type of girls that my dad used to date, and I was like, I will never be none of them. Like I'm about to be beneficial and bring something to the table on every aspect, whether it's money, food, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So with that, me being the stay-at-home wife, I'm like, okay, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing everything else, but yet you're still going out in these streets and cheating and doing whatever it is you want to do. And it's like, I didn't feel like I had enough to stand on. Like, I'm not making no money. I'm just cooking it. Like, it literally made me feel like I wasn't worth anything. I'm just cooking and cleaning. Like, that's it. Like, you come home to a clean house every day. You woke up to breakfast before you went to work. You had lunch. You had dinner when you came home. Like, everything you could possibly think of, there was like literally nothing wrong, but like you still wanted to find stuff out in the street. So it's just like, okay, but he is working, but he is paying the bills. So,
and that's what we're
I can't really say
he
nothing.
Pay the bills.
He is paying the thing. He ain't, but you know, he does pay all the bills. I literally don't bring no money in the house. So the first time that the cheating happened or whatever, I was like, all right, you know what? I got time. I know how to braid hair. I'm about to just start, since I'm going to have a babysitter for my newborn, I'm about to start braiding hair. That's going to be my side hustle. Now, no, I ain't bringing in, my bank, because my bank ain't what his bank account was. Yeah. But, okay, cool. I'll braid hair and I'll bring something in to where I'm not always in his pocket like, hey, I need money for groceries, or hey, I need this, or hey, I need that, or whatever the case may be. Like, I just started, and then I'm like, okay, so I'm contributing. But then my clientele started growing, and like, y'all already know what hair is hitting on. And then back then it was micro braids. So I'm getting that money and I'm bringing it in. I'm like, all right, so now I'm bringing in money, and and I never slacked on my wifely duties. So hold on. And now, you did it again? Damn. Oh, and she expecting. All right. Oh, damn. Okay. Cool.
That ain't about you though. That's about him.
That's why I said go get that pay. So for me, in my mind, I had to realize like, nah, I am that on every level. I'm all that. I got a career. Like I'm bringing in some type of money. Like I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, and I'm doing everything else. And all you got to do is go to work and come back and talk nice to me and be nice. That was me coming out of my relationship. That was me doing my, like, let me check myself. Let me get myself right. You get what I'm saying? That's what I said on the flip side. Like, nah, I ain't no fucking person. Or no, maybe I was mean, or maybe I was this, maybe I was that. Nah, let me get right. Let me make sure that that they know, all right, listen, this is what you need to bring to the table. And the minute you talk crazy to me, bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah. And not every time do you have to change anything about you. Sometimes you just gotta change the person. Like you can be nice and not work and do. It's about the person you are with, and you know that's more about him and whatever issue he got. He feel like he gotta have multiple women, which that's a whole nother thing. When men feel like they gotta have multiple women, that's a lot of their insecurities and their relationship with their mother and things like that. So.
And then a lot of it too is, like I said, I saw the player side of my dad. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna put my father business out there, but I saw some things. So in my mind, as a young woman, like I was never really sold on. My dad was never pressing the whole "you gotta get married," you white picket fix and the dog.
He know how men are, because he know how men are.
You know, he was just like, if you find somebody that you rock with and it works, whatever, like then that's when you can, that's when you can get married. But pushing that marriage issue, he always taught me to be self-sufficient and independent. He was just like, don't be so independent to where you don't need or you make him feel less than. Right. He was like, but by the end of the day, I want you to get to a point in your life where you're good with or you're good without a man. You know what I mean? And I've always just been on that. And then I saw, like I said, I saw a lot of stuff. And then I saw the type of females, and I was just like, yeah, I never want to be that female, because she's like, girl, like, really? You know what I mean? It's just certain stuff that I saw that I was just like, yeah, nah, that ain't gonna be me. I'm gonna be a boss on a different type of level. Like I'm gonna just keep it cool, calm, and classy. And I mean, we rock, and we don't. Like no hard, no ill will, but. One thing that I would never ever do is let nobody make me feel like I'm less than because I'm not working. When you promise me like, oh, you fresh out of college, you ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? So that was my flip side of it.
Some men like that because they feel like she won't leave. Like if I'm paying the bill,
I felt like that's what it was.
She won't leave.
He thought I wasn't gonna leave it.
Yeah, because I think
that's why I took
my $50 and I was out.
Mara had
leaving with
fuck over you written all over.
Nah, I won't fuck over you. I won't. Like, I'm a nice person. I ain't gonna fuck over you like that. But what I'm saying is, we're like, let me put it to you like this. Money don't make me. Money don't thrive me. Like, I have a lot of people throwing money at me, and it's just kind of like,
that's not it.
I can go buy that myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can go do this myself. Like, I keep it very cute. Like, like, if that's what you want to do, but if it's a difference between like, I thought about this and I wanted to get this for you, as opposed to I'm about to buy her.
Yeah.
I'm about to throw this at her. Because I'm gonna tell you real quick. Oh, that's what you got? My car paid for.
Oh, I wasn't talking about like you saying. I'm talking about
like
food,
but
yeah.
And it's crazy because like they'll try to say, because I've been in situations where they be like, oh, like they throw money at me. Like for that particular situation, he was trying to throw money at me, and I'm like, I'm good, I don't need it. He like, well, where you gonna live? You ain't got nowhere to go. That's not your concern. Right. You worry about them kids you got on the way. Like me and mine is out. Like I will go struggle. I will go sleep in the car. I will go do whatever I need to do before I ever let you make me feel like you're needed. And you could just treat me any old type of way because I want to live comfortable. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
Damn.
Good.
Damn, son.
Did y'all get married just because you had a kid, or was marriage talked about anyway?
So we were already in a relationship for a minute before, and so it just the baby wasn't his. Just so.
Oh, okay.
That's a whole nother story. Yeah. Oh. So yeah. So we had already had like another situation, where we were dating and all of that other stuff. And okay, so let me just put it up there because not everybody gonna be looking at me crazy. Like, bro, what? You trapped him? No. So, so me and my ex had broke up for like 4 or 5 months. I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was like 16 weeks. So I was like almost 4 months before I found out that I was pregnant. But by that time, I was already dating somebody else for 2 months. I think we were dating for like maybe 2 or 3 months, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So we were already dating, and I told him, I was like, listen, I'm a very honest person with anything that's going on. So I was like, listen, I'm pregnant. It's not yours. I'm letting you know now. You can either stay or you could go. But I'm just telling you, this ain't you. Period. Yeah. And I told him, like, I gave him the dates and I told him how many weeks and everything matched up. Like my story was what it was. I wasn't trying to, because any girl I could have easily, because I wasn't showing at the time. So I could have easily been like, nah, this for you. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we would have dealt with that down the road. But like I was upfront and honest, and you decided to stay or whatever throughout the whole pregnancy, so everything or whatever. So obviously, I finished my freshman year of college, but I just didn't go back my sophomore year or whatever because I was getting ready to be due. And we decided to move in together and all this other stuff. And out of nowhere, like he woke up and he was like, "Will you marry me?" I was like, "All right, cool." And then on top of that, like, you know, he was in the military too. So he was just like, "Yeah, and I can help you with the benefits, with the baby, with everything, like everything." So it was more like, "Will you marry me?" on top of like, and I can benefit you with all of this stuff too. And I was like, well, you know, I'm not really working right now. I'm not this, I'm not that. Because I was a go-getter before the baby. You know what I'm saying? So flip side to that, so it was a mutual thing, and he decided to stay and rock it out. And like, so after the baby was about 6 months before we even, so we had been together for a minute. Granted, it's not long, but we had been together long enough where we was vibing enough to feel like we could cross that threshold. But I was like, all right, look, we'll go to the courthouse. We'll go ahead and get it done. And then our 1 year anniversary will be our actual wedding ceremony. Okay. That'll be like, okay, we made it past the first year. Now we're going to celebrate with our friends and family and, you know, have like a small little ceremony, like a nice little reception, you know, so that way I can still have my princess moment and things like that. But that was going to be our 1 year anniversary. But hell, 4 months later, you got 3 girls knocking on our door talking about something they pregnant for you and all this other stuff. And again, like I knew about the cheating the very first time. I knew about that. But again, that's when I'm like, well, I mean, he does work hard, and I mean, we do have a baby and he got to do that. And I was really deflecting and making excuses and making it acceptable because I felt like I wasn't bringing enough to the table. I'm only scrambling eggs at 4 o'clock in the morning when you got to be to work at 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm only cooking dinner and having it ready hot as soon as you walk in the door at 6 o'clock. Like I didn't feel like that was enough. So the first time I let, but I mean, I'm only 19 at that time too. So my 19-year-old mom was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not doing enough. Okay, let that man be. Like, I am leaving. I am this. I am that. Like, maybe I need to get up on my game. So I really started self-blaming. Like, all right, no, it's me. It's my fault.
We'll make it about
I did it. Okay, don't worry, boo. Because I see you stressed out about that bill. So I figured, okay, I know how to braid. Like, all right, what do I know how to do? I didn't have my hair lessons at the time, but I know how to braid. And again, I have that hustle mentality. I've always had it. All right, let me do this. Let me go curl somebody's hair, go press something, or let me go braid something and bring in at least $200 to $300. That'll cover a light bill, a water bill. That'll get somebody's cell phone taken care of. That'll put gas in somebody's car. Like, so that way you ain't got to stress about nothing. You get what I'm saying? And I ain't got to be in your pockets. But then, like, my clientele started building, and then, you know, that little $50 to $150 a month turned into, like, now it's $400, $500, $600, $700 a stack a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, now my clientele is building, and I'm showing him, like, yeah. And then on top of that, I got a little day job at Burger King too, just to kind of even it out on the slow periods when I didn't have any hair clients. And I'm paying for the daycare myself, so I don't need your money on that. Like, I'm trying to really overcompensate for, okay, you cheated on me, but let me show you what else I can do. So now I done went out and I done got 2 different jobs. I'm hustling.
Yeah, it was never
right. But I mean, I know that now at 36. Yeah. But at 19, I didn't know that. So I'm sitting here like, okay, damn, like it's gotta be something that I'm doing, or there's lack of on my end. So let me go get this money. That's one thing I know how to do. Let me go get this money real quick. And then I told myself, all right, you're gonna be working now. You're not gonna be just sitting around, but you cannot slack up on the food. Dinner was still made at the same time every day. Breakfast was still same time. I was exhausted, and then mind you, I had a whole 5-6 month old baby.
Yeah. So now you're bringing more than he is technically because you're working.
I still wasn't. He was financially straight, but it was still like I still was bringing in like a stack a month. That's not a lot, but back then it was a lot, and that's a lot when it's extra. When it ain't accounted for.
It's a lot when you're still doing the household stuff. Like if I'm working, I'm not doing that shit too. We gonna have to go half on that. Like we both working.
See, again, 19-year-old me was just like, I'm trying to make it work, but then at the same time, I'm doing all of that, and now you still doing it, and now y'all got kids coming into the picture. Boy, I'm 19 years old. I'm not gonna be a stepmama of 4 kids, and I got my own. Man,
I didn't even have enough time to do that. To make 3 babies.
Military niggas are finding a way.
Y'all was staying on the weekend. You know they off on Saturdays and Sundays.
Y'all was staying on the base.
I'm going out with the guys. We stayed off post.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So marriage was benefiting him. Marriage was benefiting that man. Because
and then on the weekends. On the weekends, I have my baby. I don't have nobody to watch him. So he's like, yeah, well, I'm going to go out with the guys. Well, his cousin lived there. So he's like, yo, me and cuz, we finna go here and there. And I'm guessing that's when he found the time. Okay,
he went with his cousin. What nigga want to keep hanging out with a nigga? You going with them girls.
Let me tell you something. I don't care what you're doing.
Did we discuss this the last podcast, Brandon?
I'm good. I'm gone. Like I didn't even try to figure it out. I didn't ask why. I didn't care.
Good for you.
I said, okay, so how can we get this? Because we've only been in this for 3.
You dodged the bullet. You dodged the bullet. You got away. Those 3 women that have his baby, that sucks to be them. At least you got away without having any of his children.
I was like, yeah, man. I said, how can we? I said, we've only been married. Because I went right back to the courthouse. I was like, listen, we've only been married for like 3 months. How can we fix this? What do you mean fix it? Erase it.
Act like it never happened.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if they make a lot of money in the military, but they're taking this paycheck.
It depends on your rank, but at the same time, real quick, like you get free, like in the military, like it depends on your rank, which he was, I forgot exactly what he was, but he was high enough to where he was making a decent amount of money on the 1st and the 15th. On top of when you have a spouse, you get an extra allowance for having a spouse and a dependent. On top of that, we decided to not live on post, we live off post. So that means they gave him a housing allowance as well. And then they also, because you have a meal plan when you live in the barracks, when you move off barracks, they also give you money on a meal plan too. So
that nigga was tricking, boy. That nigga, boy, that wicked him. I'm going ahead with cuz. Yeah, that nigga was tricking.
And he caught up with it.
And then you don't have no like, and then the only military dudes that don't really have anything is when they're living on barracks. They're like, when you live on the barracks, you get a certain amount on the 1st and the 15th. You don't really get all those extra incentives for having a family and for living off base and all of that. So they I'm not gonna say they don't be struggling because they don't manage their money right, but sometimes they be like, oh, I know I'm getting paid on the 1st and 15th, so let me go and let me get a system in my car on the payment plan. Let me get the rims on my car on the payment plan. Let me go do this on the payment plan, and then by the time they get their check on the 1st and 15th, they only got $17 to their name, but they got a nice car. Like, I mean, it's so much. Yeah.
So never date military. Is that what you're saying?
The only thing I would honestly say, you can date a military person if you're in the military as well, or if you grew up with that person and they went into the military. But if you just meet somebody in the military, I'm not gonna say yay or nay, but I'm just
already did.
I'm just gonna say, because I know a lot of people in the, like, because my best friend, when we graduated, well, one of my best friends, when we graduated high school, she went to the military, I went to college. And so I met a lot of people in the military just based off of hanging out with her. And that's how I ended up meeting dude, whatever. So yeah. Yeah, right.
If I'm not right, you said ex-best friend, right? You see? Look, you see?
You remember her too?
Well, I'm not gonna say it like that. I'm just gonna say no, because I know her. We went to high school together. It's just we just grew apart. I'm gonna say that we don't really communicate as much as we used to. Right. That's where that comes from. It's the communication. As we grew older, you know, and her career took her that way, my career took her this way. We were living in the same city, and then, you know, when you move and you try to keep in contact and you try to go see each other, and you do, but after so long, like, I mean, it will. Yeah, it's just
you just grow apart. Like you said, it ain't no be.
Yeah, so we talk every now and then, and when I say every now and then, it's like maybe once every like couple years type of situation. And we always every conversation, it's always we got to do better, but then
you don't do better.
Life be lifing.
Yeah, so
that's the new saying. I think that's gonna start for 2023. Life be lifing.
Life be lifing.
I think that's gonna be the new shit.
I want to know how marriage benefits the married people. Tell us how marriage benefits you.
They're
gonna get them people to
let him go first.
For my experience from my first marriage,
no, talk about now.
I'm just saying, I'm getting into it. Because I've been married before, so I'm saying, like, I didn't have no partner. Like, I didn't feel like I had a partner in my first marriage, so that's why it went to where it went to. Now in my marriage now, I have a partner. I have somebody that I know that have my back, that's going to ride for me. I'm a ride for her. So that's pretty much everything else, like all the other stuff, the cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, that's all a plus, all of that. But it just, like I said, it was mainly every chick that I ever dated always cheated. So it was like, I feel like I never could trust a person, trust a woman or anything. So it's like now with her, it's like, I know I have a partner. I have somebody that I could trust. She trusts me. So that's the only thing I'm looking for in my marriage. Everything else, we just, you know,
it's a bonus.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Blake.
Okay, man, Blake, 13 years.
Like I said earlier, I ain't gonna sit in there like I'm like the best husband in the world. Oh, I'm in a perfect marriage, but we crossed those thresholds and we going. We be good. Now we in a good situation. But I'm not.
Did you go to therapy?
I didn't go to therapy with you. I didn't, because I thought it was conflict of interest at the time. We won't talk about this.
Not with me. I'm just saying, we had talked the last time. You was like, okay, I was think about it. And I was wondering if you ever went.
No, I never went to a real therapist. No, like everything, like I said, everything we talked about amongst each other. We sat down and talked to each other. Whether it was like good or bad, good, bad, and ugly. Like we talked about it. And that's how we got through our situation. But like now is I'm saying, like now it's like we in a good place, we cool, we like she going through something, and like we gotta, like, you know, I gotta be there for her at this time important in our life. It's serious. So it's like that's when you see. Now I ain't gonna say just because of that, because we was cool before that, but like it's getting serious now. So it's like
it show you, it opens up another
different side.
Yes.
it shows a different side, like life ain't guaranteed and stuff like that. You gotta show who really care for you when times are super, super hard. So, but as far as like what beneficial parts of marriage, like we career oriented, goal minded, love. We like she don't stop me from doing shit. I don't stop her from doing anything. She know when I gotta either do a podcast, a movie, an event she gotta do. She got goals to like what she want to do. She never tells me I can't do anything. She never tells me you're not available to do that. You shouldn't do this. Like we feed off each other goals. That's why I'm able to do movies and all like podcasts and all this other stuff. Cause like that's our connection. That's how we bond. And we got like this 90s thing we got in common, like 90s music and shit. Like only a few people like know a lot of 90s music. So me and her like got that connection. But like, yeah, that's how it's been. Yeah, that's my beneficial part because you know, I ain't saying I'm perfect or this marriage perfect, but
there is no perfect.
There's nothing perfect.
I tell everybody that I said no such thing as a perfect that somebody can deal with. Somebody can do it. So.
Derek, did you go to therapy? Because you was finna cry the last episode.
No, I did not. And you know what? I don't know what's my issue. I don't know what's my issue. Like
you don't have to go to therapy because you have an issue.
No, like my issue to go to therapy. Like I don't know. Like even they said it is like, no, just go. Like what the fuck? Just go. I don't know.
You probably just don't want people in your like you don't feel comfortable with talking to somebody.
And maybe it could be that.
But at the same time, I mean, I never went to therapy. But what I'm saying is, what I've heard is, I mean, it might be somebody talking to people you know could be biased, whether they're biased for you or biased for your wife, or so. Talking to somebody that you don't know, they could really kind of paint a picture in a different light, and they don't know you from a can of paint, and that might be the best advice.
And I know my issue is
no pressure, because I ain't winning.
I know it's like I think my thing is just more of like I was like the whole situation with my parents and my dad. And it's like I never had no relationship, and when he tried to build that relationship, like I didn't want it at that time. I was like 13, 14. I was like, nah, fuck all of that. Even though like at the time, all my friends at that time, they had their dads, and it's like I just didn't want that, and then it's like it was too late. So it is like
you got daddy.
And it's like I dealt with my mama, married my sister. My sister, you know, she was with daddy, and he was there when I was the age of 3 until I want to say maybe 15. I don't know. Like, and he was there, and the scene what they went through and they divorced, and it was like I don't want to be like I don't want to be with I don't want to call that man my dad. Like that's a suck ass nigga. Until today, I don't even talk to him. And then it's like she's married 9. It's like me and him had our problems. It's like. And all that time, every time I had a problem, it was like, damn, I want to talk to my dad about it. Like, I want to talk to my dad. And it's like, nah, he going. Like, I don't have that relationship. So I think I just deal with it. And so, yeah. That's why it makes me like, I'm always my kids. Like, everything is my kids. Kids. That's no matter what. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm tired. I'm my kids. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my issue. It could be more than that, but I think that's.
Man, I don't know, man. It was just me. It felt like you talking about the crowd. Man, I felt sad.
Man,
I get it all man, about the crowd, man.
Bro,
now you see, it's like even for them, like.
That's why I kept saying, "Shut up, man."
No, like even for them, like me and them being cool since middle school. Seeing them with their daddy, like
don't say we, say me.
Man, it don't matter. I was cool with both of y'all, but I was more friends with Blaine at the time. So it's like just seeing them how they got their relationship with their dad. So
no, it definitely has an impact. It definitely.
Yeah, and I got a best friend like. I could call, his daddy, like I call him pops and shit because how close he was. So just show you shit that you see growing up, and it's like, damn, like I ain't got nobody I can call dad. So,
yeah,
man. So that's my issue. But Blaine, you next, married.
Fuck out of here.
It's getting too sad.
Are you a Cancer, Derek? Did you say you were?
Yeah, I'm a Cancer. Yeah.
So he's just a little more in touch with his emotions. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I ain't no. You know what I'm saying? I can cry. God damn it.
Cry. Yes, you can. That is so healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy. It sure is, boy. Pooh, boy. You ain't cried in a long time. You bust them tears.
Say,
You know what's so
listen.
crazy? I was looking at my Facebook memories, and I don't know how many years. I think that was last year. I wrote that, and I said, "Man, you know what? Sometimes it's good to cry."
Last time I wrote that, I think my brother Blaine had called me and told me, "Yeah, a dream you had." And like I started crying on the phone. I was like, yeah, dog. And then I was like, feel good to cry.
It's a relief.
Everybody about my son, probably.
Yeah, you told me about the son that died. Yeah. He's like, yeah, you looking like you. And I was like, God, Jesus Christ.
Why you gotta make it so funny?
Like with crying, like
Because we don't want to cry.
It's a stigma of men. It's a stigma of like men shouldn't cry, and I hate that. But at the same time, for me, but you hear that, but at the same time, like for me, like as a single mom with 2 boys, I try not to like. I feel like I have to be hard up all the time because I have 2 boys.
It's gonna make them upset to see you cry. So you don't want to show them that.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, about their upsetness. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't like seeing my mama cry, whether it was from anything.
Right, but you need to see her be human, because if you never cry in front of your kids, they think they have a superhero complex, and then they feel like, well, I can't show emotion. It's healthy for your kids to see you have emotions so that they know it's okay for them to have them.
Man, kids
I didn't see
could cry.
my dad cry until a funeral. First time I seen my dad cry, I was shocked because he ain't cried our whole life. And then one day at a funeral, I seen him crying. I was like, dang, look my daddy cry, man. And so that kind of made me sad. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a shock. Like, there shouldn't be like
it was a shock because my daddy was just always
regular, just normal face.
You have to create that space, because people that don't emote, like, it just comes out in other ways. So it's not helping anybody by not crying. Like, you can make yourself sick from holding your emotions in. Like, emotions,
I think men
tears are a form of toxin, right? So like when you're working out and you sweat, the sweat coming out your pores is your body releasing toxins. If you're holding back your tears, just keeping them in your eyes, there's no way for the emotions and the toxicity to get out. It's another form of release, just like peeing and pooping. Like, you got to get the toxins out of your body. If you have a feeling that's there and you don't let it out, what you think it's doing to your inside?
So when you're mad and you need to have sex and you bang,
I knew what I was coming.
But look, the reason that you feel like when you're mad you need to have sex is because you want to allow yourself to cry. So men feel like, well, I ain't gonna cry, I'm gonna beat it out the frame. I ain't gonna cry, I'm gonna go gamble. I ain't gonna cry, I'm gonna go smoke weed or drink. Like, we find other ways to do it. When if you would just cry, you wouldn't need to do that. Tearing up her kitty cat. Like, go cry. Fuck you tearing her shit up for? You ain't do it. Like, men don't know how to be soft and sensual with anything. And it's just like, just go cry. It's really okay. Like,
I like crying, man. Look, I just got to the point in my life where it's hard to cry. Like, simple shit make me cry. I can see a sad Disney movie cry.
Or anything on TV is like,
if you get harder, it gets hard to hold it back.
Somebody keep you doing this. It's all Blake go cry. Somebody keep you doing this.
Don't make fun of him. Don't make fun of him.
I want to go back to the kids crying, because I know we tell our kids don't cry, like, stop. But the only thing I'm like, I don't like.
Why do you do that?
I tell them, I don't know, but I know damn sure I'm gonna tell them in the store.
Because he loud and he get on my
goddamn fucking store. Like, I hate when people just staring like.
So what?
No, I'm not. Listen, I do not. I don't like my children telling people hello, because if you don't tell my child hello, bitch, I'm gonna go off on you. That's why I'm like, Daddy, Mom, don't say shit. Just don't talk.
This would happen with Derek, y'all. Hi.
I don't like this shit. I ain't gonna lie, I'm that mom, because my little one will be like, hi, and if they don't be like, hey. Well, I ain't gotta say nothing no more, because he got a mouth like me. He be like, I said hi. I'll be sitting there right next to him, like,
you gonna say hi, motherfucker?
Yeah, man. I don't give a fuck. Like if whatever
me,
race she is, you gotta say hi. Like if a kid telling, I don't care if a kid telling me hi in the store, I'm saying hi. I don't care, white, Mexican, whatever. I'm going to speak.
Yeah, that's a kid. Say, but what if they got that kid that just keep staring at you like that?
My kid ain't like that. So you
gonna say it. I'm gonna go goo goo gaga.
We ain't talking about the weird ones. We talking about Mona be like, Mom, and then mine is loud. Y'all heard him. Mine is loud. Mom, get in and say hello. I be like, well, some people are just rude to me. It's okay, and we're just having this loud conversation right in front of the person.
Man, the children gonna start asking that for real, because if people don't speak, they're gonna be like, man, Daddy, why you never said nothing back? And it's like,
I heard they feelings. They might grow up regretting that white person when they see when they get over and shoot them in the head. And then
my son will point them out. That person didn't say, Mom.
And then they're gonna be talking to Brandy. Yeah, man. What's
the shooter's man, he told me hi when I was 5.
That hurt me a lot, man. I went home crying that night. You know what I'm saying? I just shot him. I
still got trauma from one. We was at Mardi Gras one year, and I was trying to catch a bead. Yeah. And some white lady pushed me. Oh, white lady said, "Get out the way, you little nigger!" And I just look at her. I would tell my mama. My mama ready to fight. I wouldn't tell my daddy. My daddy said, "You shouldn't be right there. You shouldn't be right there." I'm like, man, that lady just pushed me, called me a
yeah, I remember we went to Pelican Park and I got trauma for this, and that little white girl said, "Y'all can't do anything because y'all black boys. Y'all can't."
You see what I'm saying? Man,
I'm used to it now, but as a child, we live in a racist state.
Yeah, boy, God damn, dog.
So what were you asking me about children crying?
No, I was just saying. I was just putting it out there. And I know it's not right. Like I said, I know it's not right for to tell your children not to cry. But like I said, that's my issue. Is like, it's cool in the house, but when I'm in the stove, like, cut that shit. It's just, I don't know. I just hate when people stare at me. Like, that shit aggravating. Like, shut the fuck up. Because if think about it, now you can't discipline your child in the store in front of people now because you doing something wrong, and we gonna call such and such. That's why it's like,
why do you care what other people think?
It don't care, because when you gonna put the cops in my life, now I gotta deal with that. Now you trying to take away from my kids. Now I want to kill you because you taking me away from my kids. You putting cops in my life. I don't even like cops.
You think that if you were disciplining your child, somebody would call the police?
Yeah, if they're crying, if they scream, my children scream at the top of their lungs if they can't get their way. Mm-hmm. Top of the lungs. Like,
and you feel like that's enough to get your kids taken away? It's not.
No, but them Karens, they make things. We all see videos where nigga ain't even doing shit, and a Karen could make things biggest.
We in a state where shit like this happens, Brandy. Like this.
Oh, okay, because I'm lost. I'm like, ain't nobody about to tell me what to do with fuck my kids. But
shit like this happens in Louisiana.
They over exaggerate shit, and it's like, man, I gotta deal with this shit. Nah, I hate all of it. Like, that's why I like to go in the store in and out. I avoid people. If I see somebody I know, I'm avoiding them. I don't even want to talk to them. That's the type of person I am. So I don't like all of this shit. But
that's interesting.
Anyway,
what was the question we were going to ask Blaine before everybody started talking about something else?
Yeah, because you keep getting away from all Blaine. The benefits of marriage, sir.
What about it?
What are the benefits to being married?
Oh man, well, the benefits. I'm still currently, we're not living together still, so.
But y'all was married for all these other years. Why do you want
to stay married? You want to stay married, so why do you want to stay married? What are the benefits?
We got a new movie coming out, y'all. It's called I Visit My Wife.
What?
Ignore him. Continue.
We're gonna talk about it.
Okay. First of all, nigga, I'm not visiting. I'm going. Anyways, make a long story short, it's a work in progress, because after a long waiting time of waiting for an answer, seeing what was gonna go on in my life, but me realizing someone told me if somebody don't know the answer is no, which they was right. They was right. But
it sounds like a smart person.
That person's very smart, man.
Too.
I tell you, boy,
very smart.
Man, very smart person. Anyway, but you know, me and my fate changed the shit I did, and with everybody in here except Mara would know the example of all the shit I did. One person had my phone one time when I was, and he kept calling and blah, blah, blah. I did a lot of bad shit. So you can't dish and not take out. So that's kind of why I waited so long, even though she told me she didn't want to be with me plenty of times. I told her plenty of times I didn't want to be with her, and she put up with it for 8 years. So by me still going, trying to be by my wife and be with her, I put up with it because of the stuff I did. But me waiting long enough, she did tell me December 2nd that we can.
Not knowing the date.
Hey, you know the date.
What time was it? What time?
Told me it was 11:45 a.m. I mean, she called me over to our house and she said, "You know what, Blaine? I see you changed. I seen this." She said, "I seen it." She said, "I know I said what I said, but for the sake of it, we can try to work it out."
Yeah.
She said, like, I said, "So we back together?" She said, "We are, but we're not living together." She said, "It's kind of hard to say." She said, "Because I don't want you to leave your job you've been at for how long to come here." He said, "I'm not gonna do that to you." And I was like, "Cool, I understand that." She said, "So we together, but it's part time." I was like, "What you mean part time?" I don't know part. She said, "I explained it to you. You work over there. I don't want you to quit your job." And so I'm like, "Cool." I was like, "So we together?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "So I can put my ring back on?" And she put hers back on. And I was like, "Okay, cool." So then we try to work it out and see how it goes. And but she's back together. We're back together, and that's why you see my ring on my finger, Blake, when I was doing this. He's like, "Oh, that nigga without a string on his finger." But she still live where she live, and I live where I live. She's still an hour away, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. I even had this conversation on the road with somebody one night when I was going to deliver some hay. I was telling them my side of the store and everything. It's just my mindset now, man. I wanted it to work. I stuck through it through all of her talking to somebody else, and like I said, I'm not perfect either, but I wanted my marriage back. I wanted it, but if it didn't work, I wouldn't go. I didn't want to play with nobody's feelings. I didn't want to lead nobody on in the process. So I was like, if it don't happen, it happens. If it does, it does. And it just.
Mary, you see the tension?
It happened.
Mary's so lost right now. She probably like, huh? What's
you talking about? Who do you think?
Nobody knows that. You're not recording, right? Just shut up.
No, I want to
ask you, what are the benefits of being married?
Yeah, okay, I have no benefits right now.
You told us the whole
relationship.
Get back together, but I can't say no benefits right now because
they're not living together.
Separated the whole year, so I shouldn't even.
So marriage only benefits you if you live with the person.
I can't speak on it because I ain't been with my wife in a year, so I can't. Y'all shouldn't even include me actually in this question, honestly.
Okay.
I'm not.
You didn't have.
But if you want to get back with her, okay. But if you want to get back with her, and if you're working on building a relationship, marriage is the ultimate goal. Being as though you want to put your ring back on, so you shouldn't have to be with that person to know what benefits you will have and you will give for that relationship. So you should know some type of benefits.
I know a bit, but like I can't give y'all a clarified honest answer right now because
you're not with her. You're not.
I'm
together.
not.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay, so what was the benefit?
What's the goal?
My goal was with everything I was doing now to try to get my marriage back. I was putting my wife first. Like before I said, it was always about Blaine. It was Blaine this. I wouldn't care about my kids, my wife, or nothing. It was always them on the background. The benefits for me being married now is to know that I can be a husband the right way instead of putting my wife and my kids behind me. I know the benefit of her because when I was with her, she did everything the wife did. She had my food ready. She had my food in the microwave when I got off. She took care of the kids. She cooked for me. She always
the only benefit to men is what the woman does. That's what I'm saying. It's always about she cooked, she cleaned, she took care of the kids. That's why I said marriage benefits men. It does, because that's what the same thing y'all always say.
But like I say, I took that for advantage at first. And now I realize that I need to do my part at the same time because I missed that, but look what I was doing. I wouldn't care.
I want to Derek.
Huh?
Okay, so real quick. Men. Men, if cooking and cleaning and all of that stuff would be off the table, would you still feel like the marriage is beneficial?
Okay, look,
I do that.
No, let me do something right now. Hold on. This what I learned when not after this time apart. I learned to, besides all that cooking cleaning, I learned to build a friendship, just in case, like, you know how people should be more like sex, and when there's no sex, there's like, what are we doing around? I learned how to build a relationship without worrying about having sex, benefiting, food, clean up. I learned to build a friendship where we can just be around each other and enjoy each other's company all the time now. Instead of tension about, you give me this ass later on, or what we gonna do right now. We can just talk. It kind of like me and my brothers, we can just talk now. Like, and we can go the whole day and talk. Like, it's never a dull moment now because my mindset's so different. I got so much to explain and talk about that we can just talk. And we ain't gotta worry about what you cooking, this and that. All that comes afterwards. And honestly, the way I feel now, if you put, I'm going spiritual, you put God first before all that.
God.
Everything else after that is just a benefit. Because once you put him first, everything else is gonna be smooth sailing. But if you put him stuff before him, your stuff will always do this. Never will be a good pet. So the way I live now is him first thing in the morning, his praise, his glory, and then everything else just smooth for me because I know I did my right thing about doing right by him. And even though people don't see stuff that you do wrong, I know I see it because it don't matter. You think because you're doing something bad, people don't see it, but he see it no matter what you do. So that's why something always happening eventually because we'll come to the dark, always come to the light.
I go both ways.
Like that now. I don't do nothing hiding no more at all. Everything, I'm transparent. So by me living my life like that, everything being smooth sailing. And me and her, it's just talking. It ain't sex. It ain't I want this, that. It's just we got a friendship now. Just in case, like, let's say somebody we didn't get shot off or they can't have sex. we can live our life just we ain't gotta worry about that because I've been so long and that's just me. That's me talking from how I experience my benefits of being with my wife now. I have a friend. I can just chill with. I don't need not just my wife, the wife to do this. I have a friend. I ain't had no friend.
No, I like the thing that you say, like you got a friendship in your wife and that's easy. You ain't gotta worry about sex, and you could just say y'all can hang and chill, talk. Yeah, we could do all of that. Then I talked enough and chill enough tonight.
Yeah, but it'll happen on its own instead of it would just happen.
Well, yeah.
Look, what happened?
Everything Blaine talking about, I've been through all that. And guess what? I'm the same motherfucker. I'm the same motherfucker. Like, I swear to God. Like, yeah, we're friends now. Yeah, we're cool. You get what I'm saying?
Still
See, as a single person out here, listening to y'all say what the benefit is does not make me want to go nowhere near marriage.
You do it
at all.
That's
I'm not judging y'all at all. I'm not judging y'all.
You can't go off of what we
do. Look,
please don't go off.
Everybody, don't.
Everybody different.
Your life is our life.
Everybody's not different because every man says the same thing. Even not.
I know some niggas ain't gonna tell you that.
No,
they be like,
so essentially, no, because now in the space that I'm in now, it's just kind of like, okay, so I mean, of course, I would love to have, a relationship, all that, but at the same time, like, essentially, how marriage is sold to women nowadays is you want me to sign up to cook and clean and do your laundry and take care of your badass kids.
When you put it like that, that's what it sounds like. Like real shit. If you
but I'm just giving you what we hear.
It's not how like marriage for men is more about what the woman can do for you.
Facts. I ain't gonna lie.
But for me, I'm asking, what does it do for me? Like, for what am I gonna get out of it? Just consistent
let me go first. Let me be a man.
They're gonna say stability, and it's like, okay, I'm
already stable. I'm already stable.
Let me go first, man.
Hold up, Blake. Like you say, like with the benefit of like a husband. You know how 90% of the women in the world, y'all back hurt. 90% of y'all, my back. A husband can be like, hey, honey, I know you had to let me rub your back. Oh,
no, I have a monthly subscription to get a massage.
God damn it, you ain't gotta pay that. You get it for free at home.
I'm about to say,
It
Blaine,
ain't gonna be as good, and he gonna want to fuck after.
Not really.
He gonna rub my back, then he gonna be rubbing my booty, and now we fucking. So it's still benefits him.
You only can do that if you open your legs. You ain't gotta open your legs.
He gonna hit it from the back. As soon as he rubbing your back.
Oh my God, you gotta open your cheeks.
Next, what's the next thing? Back rub is not
something. Man, you can do anything. You can just have a comment. Hey, honey, how was your day? How was your clients? Oh, okay. Well, what book you read today? Let's talk about that book, honey. Come on.
I got friends. My friends do that. Next.
God damn it. That's why you.
Hold on, let me go, man. The benefit. Let me go.
Go ahead, Blake. Sell it to me. Why should I want to get married again?
The benefits for you.
You know why you want to get married.
I really don't.
No, listen,
no more.
I'm not saying that I can sell you anything, but I can say, like, from a good guy standpoint, you got a partner in crime. You got somebody that always gonna have your back. You got somebody that's gonna be there for you mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. You got somebody that's gonna listen to your problems, be there for you, care, comfort, love you unconditionally. Benefits of marriage. That's all I can say from a mental, spiritual, and standpoint.
From your standpoint.
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, like what you want out of marriage. What would you get? You would get that when you walk in the house. When you walk in the house and you see your man, even though I'm not saying he cooks, but let's say he does cook because you're rubbing your feet, even though you can pay for these things. It's just the how was your day? Let me take your purse. I ran your bad water. Not saying listen.
I'm getting there.
But listen, any man can do that, but is the emotional attachment behind it. It's like you're not feeling it today. Your mood bad. I'm gonna make you happy. You had a bad day at work. I'm gonna make you forget about that day.
Exactly.
You pissed off. I'm gonna give you a reason not to be pissed off.
Okay. Make you laugh.
Look.
Stop cutting me off, bro. I'm running game because your shit was whack. You see how they smiling? I know how to talk. Honey,
hey, you've been through way more than me.
Hold up, she said that's all talk.
I know how to talk. Anyway, that's
all niggas know how to do. Talk.
No shit, real shit though. Like, see this bullshit.
Mara, do you want to get married again? Like, is that a goal of yours? Like, is that on your list of things to do? Like, is that something you would want to do? Are you interested in getting married again?
Not today.
Not today.
Shit, what about tomorrow?
No, honestly, nah. So it's honestly not on my list anymore. Honestly speaking, a relationship is not on my list anymore.
Yeah.
Only because I've tried, you know what I'm saying, several times with, different situations, and it just
didn't work.
Question.
Yeah, and
Atlanta.
No, not even there.
I moved to Atlanta and tried, and that was the problem.
I was about to say every dude that you ever talked to, did they have the same
qualities that you was aspiring to?
Yeah, like or they give like
qualifications of a man, like of a man that came up to you respectful.
Did you step out of your comfort zone? Because a lot of people go to what they know.
Yeah, like you might
like
go
to type.
Yeah,
right. So do I have a type?
Yeah, she got a type.
No, they're not always.
Have you stepped outside your race?
Yeah, she got a type.
What is my race? Because I have like 3.
Oh shit!
Have you stepped outside of your race?
I've dated white, I've dated black, I've dated Latina. I haven't had the pleasure of an Indian or a Chinese, but I mean, yeah, I've dated. I don't just date black dudes, but I would say they all started the same. Like I'm big on vibe and I'm big on energy. I've only really had, like, all my serious relationships have been 3+ years, all of them. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I just hop from 6 months to 2 months to 5 weeks to this to that. It's always been like, consistent. You know what I'm saying? So the longevity in me in these relationships, it's there. It's just more so things are good until it's not, and it always turns just turns bad, and it's always like a bad as in there's no going back. you know, I don't want to give too much detail because
Well, it
you know
takes
I'm a
2
private
years
person.
to get to know somebody, so it's like the real
right.
Come out.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then honestly, nothing really showed itself until
for sure.
You know, you move in. Like there are, everybody always say, red flag, but like, yeah, there's red flags, but it's different when you're in house.
Right.
And that's what it was for me. It was always a deal breaker and always like, oh hell no. Nah. For me, when we move in. And that's why I'm just like, damn, like
you really don't know people until you live with them, for real.
Right. And but now I'm at a point where, you know, I have a teenager and I have a young one, and me having somebody in house or me moving and trying to.
It ain't gonna happen. Not this time.
That's how I feel too. Because I got I got a girl. So somebody living with me is kind of like, I desire a relationship. I desire marriage again.
See, and that's the thing. I don't have
looking for it.
I'm more so a companionship as opposed to like an actual marriage and shit. Like, and even then, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm just really just mentally exhausted from it all.
That's what it sounds like. You just like, I'm done.
She done.
I'm just over it for real.
You know what?
I was like that too. When I came out of my marriage, I was like, oh, I'm done. Like, I'll be a serial dater. I'll just get with friends, blah, blah, blah. But I think now where I'm at, I'm like, oh, I can't see myself. Now, legally, no, I'm not going to file the paperwork. But yeah, I would get married and be in a committed relationship. I'm not looking for it as much as I used to. And I'm not like, I have to have it. If it happens, great. But it's just like, yeah, it'll happen when it's supposed to. But
I think that's what's gonna happen for Mary. Like, she ain't gonna expect it. She gonna meet somebody, ain't gonna be real cool, and she be like, and then she gonna just hit, and he be like, damn, I've been friends with this nigga for this long, and now we together. Right. Like, that's how it's gonna happen. So.
And I definitely have to change my type. I had to change my type. Like, the person that I'm with has to be spiritual at this point. Like, I can't date I'm not saying regular, but like, they have to match where I am spiritually, mentally, like emotionally. A lot of people are emotionally immature, and I just can't take that. You got to be able to hold a conversation. You got to have some shit to lose. So I know that for me, it's definitely going to be harder now because I actually have standards. So the more standards you have, the more people drop off. And so I feel like that's why I'm alone right now, because I used to just be like, oh, okay, he nice, he cool. And now it's just like, no.
See, I never was like that. They'd be like, hey, and I'm like, hey. Like, again, like, I'm big on vibes. So like, if you be like, hey, how you doing? And I just get the sense that you really just trying to like it's a sense of urgency to talk to me, or let me get you a drink, or do you smoke? And I'm just like, no, I don't. Like, why do you want to like get me under the influence? Like, what you got going on? No, I'm dead. What I'm saying?
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, step out your comfort zone. Like, has anybody ever approached you in a different way besides offering you any type of narcotics or alcoholic beverages, besides or even money?
The people that I was in a relationship with, like how we always started like, for example, like one of them, for the dude that I ended up marrying, let's say that like when we first met or whatever, it wasn't, she was just introducing us. We didn't even know that we was gonna click, and we just ended up talking shit. Like he's like, something happened. I just was talking shit the whole entire night, and he was like, oh, you funny. And then I'm like, hey, I mean, you all right. And then it just kind of
a vibe died. Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just vibed out, and then it just really just started with regular conversation with no expectations, and then the expectation started to, all right, well, this is what we're doing. And then I was just like, well, this is what I got going on. So there's the exit door, no hard feelings. And he was like, yo, I love your honesty. Other girls would have tried to trap me on some shit. And I guess because of my realness and my rawness.
Right. That's 19-year-old Mara. I'm talking about 36-year-old Mara. Like,
36?
Like how would, besides offering a perk or alcoholic beverage, like,
because that's the thing.
So now I've never been approached without somebody trying to offer any type of,
or even private DMs. Like, I'm pretty sure is that too, because that's the new age.
The DMs is offering.
No, I'm not meeting nobody else off the internet.
The DMs, they are, like I was telling y'all last week, they just want to offer. Oh, let me offer you this amount of money. Why do you think you can buy me? I don't want to.
That's what I'm saying. It's either money or
it's either you offer me money or you offer me drugs and liquor. Like,
that's scary.
You can't offer me a hot chocolate and a walk in the park.
Like nigga, what happened? Going to Starbucks.
That's the city we live in. Like, they got certain dudes that probably would approach. Matter of fact, it'd even be like that most of the time. See, nowadays, I think a female go see the potential in the dude before he see the potential in her. She might look at him, and he might just be everything he thinking about. Like, oh, he cool. Let me approach him, talk to him. He cool as fuck, and then y'all might start feeling him like that. Because most of the time, it be the person you least expect. Because the dudes that be aggressive and often narcotics and drugs, they're the bullshitters. And then they got the dudes who just be like, all right, cool. Like how you.
But I have met some stand-up guys, and turns out that they living with their baby mama. Their car was their baby mama's, and like they really fucking for a place to stay. So I mean, you just
yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Brandi, you done. You like you want to get married again, but like not the aspect of legally, but like you know you want to.
Yeah, I desire a partnership.
Had a lifetime partner.
I desire a partnership. Yeah, like I want a traveling buddy and somebody to kick it with, and you know, I feel like I'm at a place where like I've done a lot. Like I've checked all the boxes I wanted to check. So, you know, I'm trying to buy a house and travel at this point. Like I've had my kids, I've been married, I've been to college twice. Like I'm in my career, I'm starting my business. Like I've checked off a lot of boxes. So right now I'm like, yeah, I'm just at the
You want somebody to share that with.
I just want somebody to share with. So he have his own shit, I have my own shit, and we just blend our families. Like hopefully he got kids and he done already
pretty much.
Yeah, for real.
Like, we just blend our families and travel and do family stuff. Like that's where I'm at. I just want to experience life with somebody. I'm gonna do it anyway, but it would be great if I like, hey, you trying to fly out this weekend, or you know, you trying to do this with the kids. So yeah, but it took me a while to get. Like I said, I needed to be by myself, and I feel like now I'm at a place where I'm like, oh, okay, I do want that. Because at first I was like, no, I'm done, it, check that box, don't want to do it again. And now I'm like, well, it would be a totally different thing now at 36 than it would. Well, I'm not 36. I'm 33. I'm just saying, if I met somebody and been with them, I'll be 36 by the time I get married again. But
definitely dating in your 30s is definitely different than dating.
So I'm like, even me being a different person now than I was when I got divorced. I'm like, I want somebody to experience the new Brandi, like, because I was 28 when I got married, and so it's like who I am now is not who I was. So
shit, that's two different people, boy. You go back and talk to the 22-year-old Blake. That's a whole different person.
Yeah, I'm just ready to use the skills that I've learned in therapy. I'm ready to use those now. Like, hey, I know how to communicate now, and I know how to do this. So
right. Like I read books.
I've done the work, and I mean, I've dated too. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm just like, you know, I've dated and I've set boundaries and
you conversate with a few people. You know, I
had a conversation or two. I didn't know after dark at work.
After dark,
not anymore. Stop it. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Hey, Mary, you get it now? You don't get it. All right.
You don't get it? She
nope.
Don't get it. Nah, it's
cool. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna mind my business and keep on going anyway.
Well, guys, look, this is a great podcast.
All in all, there's no benefits for
right. I learned nothing. I learned to stay bossed up and continue to do what I'm doing.
I needed a therapist session, all right? Thank you, Brent.
All in all, go to therapy and be ready to cook, clean, and fuck, ladies, because that's all there is to me.
It's more to it.
It's more to it.
It's more to it, but none of them think of it, ladies. So stay woke.
Trust me, shit, because ain't nobody cooking in fucking.
Anyway, so it's safe to say we're gonna give the dude that posed that status on Facebook, we would get him the fuck out of here.
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 You dumbass nigga, you got me in trouble. Now I gotta go apologize.
You should have shared it.
So
why
hold on,
Brian.
No, I shared it, but I wrote it. I
shared it off of his stuff because we talked about the podcast topic. That's why I shared it. But when it went to my timeline, it just showed that. So I'm like, and then So since before we go, how should I go apologize?
Don't apologize.
You should. First of all, you should have been apologized before you got on this podcast. Like the minute she had an issue, you should have been like, "Nah, baby, let me explain." But you should have said, "Let me explain" before she even had an issue.
No, I did. I went up there. I explained it to her. I said, "Look, I was sharing the topic that this happened and this." So it's like, you know, like I said,
she gonna go back and listen to this episode and be like, all right.
Yes and that,
So it's all good, man.
Yeah, man. So look, man, thank y'all for showing up, man. This is the final episode of 20.
For real.
Hey.
FOH podcast. We'll be back next season.
We going on our break, you dig?
Going on our 2-week break.
If I want to keep my marriage, I'm going on my 2-week break.
Period.
And I gotta start editing this damn movie, so I need a break. So, but yeah. Brandon, man, you're more welcome to come to the movie premiere when it comes. I'll invite you. You know, you can bring all you and your 12 kids.
Don't be funny. Only got 4.
You can bring them too.
The full game.
Invite me to the movie premiere. I'm coming by myself so I can find my lifetime partner.
It is.
Shit, I hear you.
It is.
All right. Something happened. It was still happening last days in Atlanta.
Shit.
Thank y'all for coming, man. We appreciate y'all. Hold on. Thank y'all for coming. Appreciate you.
They don't get it. Like, what?
It's an inside joke, but thank y'all. Mara, appreciate you for coming. Brandon, appreciate y'all for coming. This was a therapy session. This was dope. Y'all always welcome back on the FOH podcast. If y'all want to just talk some shit, talk about
just come on, man. Just hit me up and just say, let's come in.
Did you talk shit about me before I got here?
You just stop recording. Oh, wait.
Hold on, man. We got to end the show. Hold on, man.
In the meantime, in between time, this is 2022 FOH podcast. FOH brand. We come back bigger, better, different. I'm going to have a different background next year. I said that last year, but I really go do it this year. I'm going back upstairs in my house. We're going to have all the posters and all that shit. Boom, you know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, between time in 2022, fuck you and kiss my ass and everybody hating on me. Y'all can suck my dick. Die, this motherfucker. Die, nigga. What's up, baby? Die, motherfucker. What's up?
End recording.
And it should be the day, DJ True. Catch y'all next year, man.
All right.